This is Joe Crispin, former Penn State and professional basketball player. You are listening to the Mark Lesko podcast.
I think you said that he could have gotten more separation.
There were some technique fundamentals in the receiver that weren't perfect in the 80s. I had to throw in a few points of criticism.
You hate to see a game that was where there was that many points scored and was that exciting and that many swings in momentum, etc., effectively get ended by ref.
What was it like playing in March Madness? I mean, we have it going on right now.
But playing it was amazing. I mean, like that's kind of your whole goal is to just be a part of that. It's such a special thing where the whole country is tuning in and anything is really possible.
You know, when you first started playing football, did you always want to play in college?
No, I was growing up. I was a big baseball guy. Loved baseball. And then 8th grade, I remember I got a call from my uncle, Coach Nagel. He's like, hey, I got the job. And I was just like, all right, I'll play football for you.
Like the video if you like the video. Ring the notification bells. Have a phenomenal weekend. As always, we'll catch you in the next one.
You are listening.
Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me? All right. Looks like you guys can see me. All right. All right. I think we're good. Sound quality seems good. But anyway, using a new streaming platform, everyone. So that's why I am kind of fumbling around with this right now. So appreciate your patience. I'm going to try to crop this. Let me see here. All right. I'm going to try to move this around. I don't know how I can. But anyway, welcome in, everyone. Going to talk Penn State and Steelers football. So, Mark Lesko podcast. Just doing a little update, if you will, for the Steelers are 0-3 in preseason. And then we got some Penn State stuff that I want to talk about, basically some pregame stuff, even though we kind of already did talk about it at length. I just wanted to talk about it a little more, give you my thoughts. I'm going to be alone today. This week, we'll be doing the first official game day stream of week one. So I'm not sure who's going to be joining me yet. Probably Brett Cable to record that. And then he is going to be on probably with me weekly. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to be having some different kind of hosts on. Matt from Penn State Jerseys, Jared Miller from Steelers Central. But again, just be patient with me here. I'm just trying to figure out how to center this window. I'm not exactly sure how to do it yet. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think I got that part. Let's see here. All right. So that's a little better. All right. And then I'm going to try to bring in media, like a window to my right here. Let me see. How do I do this? If you guys watch this after I'm off, like just skip ahead after I'm done figuring this out so that you guys can see it. I don't know if any of you know how to use StreamYard, but I just got it. So that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out right now. I'm trying to add media to my right, like a link. I don't know if I think I can do that, but well, I may not be able to do it right now, but thank you guys for tuning in. It's good to have you all back on. If you want to comment, please do. And I'll try and answer your questions. Good. No. I'll know. Might have to just go with this right now. But anyway, welcome in. Once again, Mark Lesko podcast going to talk, again, Penn State, West Virginia. So we'll just jump right into the Steelers side of things. Started out 0-3 in the preseason. I mean, I've spoke about it multiple times that historically, if we've done bad in the preseason, that's usually a good sign for the season upcoming. I mean, we haven't seen our starters, all of them. I don't think TJ Watt played at all. I don't know if he played yesterday. I honestly didn't even watch the Steelers game. I was watching Florida State, Georgia Tech. And for those of you who listened to my bet on a previous episode, I originally had Florida State covering the spread and the over. I actually changed that. So my apologies to those who took that bet. I did change it to Georgia Tech plus the points and the under, and it hit. Parlayed it. So 2-0 on the first parlay of the season. So that was a good start. That was, to think that Florida State was going to lose, I mean, that was pretty surprising. I mean, I didn't think that would happen, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. Florida State has DJ I still can't say his name right, even though I heard it a million times yesterday. DJ Lele or something, ULA or something like that. I would have to hear it again, but he's just a severely overrated quarterback, I think. I mean, 2 years ago at Clemson, he was in all the Dr. Pepper commercials, had a horrible year, and then he transferred to Oregon State. Now he's at Florida State. I forget what year he's in, but he was on the show QB1. I think it was like the third season he was in. And still, he's in college football. He transferred for like the third time. and he's still not consistent. I mean, I don't know what his passing yards were, but yeah, I'm sure it was under. If I had Prize Picks, I would have taken the under on his yardage. Prize Picks is still not legal in PA or allowed in PA, whatever the term is, but he didn't look good. The team didn't look good. They lost. They're like 87-24 against two Georgia teams back to back. So missed the playoff, which they should have because their quarterback got hurt. I don't even know how they would have done if their quarterback wasn't hurt. Then they got blown out by Georgia. They had a bunch of opt-outs, and then I think most of it was protest, to be honest. And then they've got this game, Georgia Tech and Ireland. They lose 24-21, I think was the final score. And even though the 27-24, because I think it was 14-14 at halftime, and then they lost 27-24, 24-21. They had that long field goal there at the end of the half, 59 yards, which is an insane kick. That's very long. A lot of college kickers don't hit that, so that was cool to see. But yeah, parlayed the Georgia Tech plus the points and the under and a hit. That was good to see. And then it's good to just have college football back. I'm really happy that the kickoff is normal in college football. It's still the same as it was before. That was good to see. One of the reasons why I like college football more. And overall, it's just a really good game. I mean, the Steelers were on. Like I said, I barely even watched them. I was much more interested in the college football game because it's the opener. I know it's week 0. There's not a lot on, but it was still awesome to watch that game. And I'm really, really excited for the season starting next week. Penn State, everybody's starting next week. And I'll have my bets this week. I'm not sure when. If I have to do a separate betting show, I will. But I'll probably have them by like Wednesday, Thursday. And pretty much as soon as you get the bets, you want to get your lines in because they'll move. Usually not for the better. So I already have my Penn State pick in. It's Penn State minus the points on the spread. And then the over. I think Penn State's going to put up points. I think they're going to cover the spread. So that's my prediction for that. In case you guys already didn't get that, that is my prediction. You know, most of the people that I follow usually pick against Penn State in week 1. And I haven't missed a week 1 prediction for Penn State since I started this podcast. Knock on wood, it doesn't happen this time. But I know my team, and generally, betting-wise, you're going to win on the season. So try to get our picks every week, even if it's just that one bet every week. Get our bets on get my bets / our bets on this podcast every week because 2 years ago in 2022 we were if you did parlays we were like 11-2 plus the bowl game. So 11-2 on parlays we went on the season. Last year pretty much the same, and then this year again starting out with this first pick, this first bet. And, we'll see how the season goes, but I think it's going to, do pretty well going forward. So, again, if you guys are listening, I appreciate it. Post your comments below. I just got StreamYard, just got it like 30 minutes ago. So I'm still just figuring it out. The fact that I'm even on this right now is kind of a miracle. So it seems to be a better interactive user base. Some other podcasts I follow use it, I think. And it just seems to be better overall. So that's why I got it. And overall, so far it's going pretty well. I'll just have to figure out exactly how to use it and so that it's better for the viewing purposes for you guys. But, one thing I wanted to talk about was the depth chart with Penn State, but the Steelers lose. They're 0-3 in the preseason. Cordell Patterson got a touchdown. I don't think TJ played. I don't think it's really necessarily anything we need to be concerned about. We haven't really played our starters. Now, I do think once we get Russ in there full-time, we get Justin involved, Fields involved, we get all our starters in there, all our vets, I think we're going to do pretty good. I think we're going to win against Atlanta. I may bet on the Steelers this year. I don't know. The NFL is so unpredictable when it comes to betting that I've kind of learned the hard way not to bet on that. But college football is my bread and butter. I'm going to have bets on Penn State and all games every week pretty much. Be giving you like a few bets at like up to per week. I'll be giving you up to like 10 bets, 10 to 20 bets, college football. And I suggest if you want to parlay individual games, that's fine, but just straight bet all of them because parlays kill you. That's where the books get their money is when people parlay. So just don't fall for it. There are ways to parlay games, but there's ways to parlay anything. But, you know, if you're trying to build a parlay and then cash out early, just build up like some money. If the first or second one doesn't hit, then it kills your parlay. So even then it's risky, very risky. But I suggest just doing straight bets. That's the best thing you can do in order to really make a profit, especially with my bets on the season. That's the best thing you can do to, be positive on the season. So at the end of the day, bet responsibly, do it the right way. Don't bet what you can't afford. That's what I do. So I bet what I can afford. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I had to say about Steelers. Jared can't come on today. I'm not sure when I'm going to have him on, but we'll probably do like a preseason or a pre-game episode, maybe a post-game for the Lions because they don't start for another 2 weeks. But this week, probably Wednesday or Thursday is when I'll do my first pre-game episode for West Virginia. Probably do post-game Saturday or Sunday. Maybe alone. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I'll be doing it alone or with Brett. There's a couple other guys I'm trying to coordinate right now to come on. So not exactly sure what we're going to do there, but Penn State. All right. So we got the depth chart. Audio sounds good. So we got the depth chart. I wish I could pull it up. I'm going to try this one more time. See what we can do here. It says add media, but can you add? I don't know if you can add like a link like I did on OBS. Could have added a virtual background, but that would have been a little obvious. All right. I'll just read it off, I guess. I'll figure out eventually how to pull it up and be able to so that you guys can see it. Can I want to at least try to fill this maybe. Can I do that? Maybe no background. All right. Hid the background. Let me try and expand my window. Well, that might work. All right. Did that work? No? It worked. Did it work? All right. So that looks pretty good. I'll take that. All right. So this is better than before. So just going through the depth chart. Okay. So right now at wide receiver X, we have Julian Fleming starting. So listening to other podcasts, particularly, not to mention names, but PSU Dylan, he's awesome. Did his kind of preseason breakdown. He went through all the games that I haven't watched the whole thing yet. But basically what we got here is we got Trey Wallace as our number one. We got Liam Clifford as our number two. And then we got Julian Fleming basically as our number three, but he's not going to start against West Virginia, I guess, which is kind of surprising because he's the five-star guy from Ohio State. But the way our offense is going to kind of be set up, it looks like we're going to have two receivers, maybe like an I formation, a running back. Well, we're going to be not I formation. We're going to be out of shotgun, I think, most of the time, unless something's changed that I don't know about. But we're going to have, so you got 5 linemen, tight end, that's 6. And then you got 2 receivers, 7, 8, and then quarterback, running back, and then probably, I guess, another receiver. So you're going to have with the 5 linemen and the tight end, that's 6, 3 receivers, that's 9, and then quarterback and running back, that's 11. So I don't know who that third receiver is going to be, but it looks like Julian Fleming is going to be like that. So basically, our slot guy apparently is our second receiver. And then that third outside guy is going to be, I guess, Julian Fleming. So I don't technically, unless there's someone in front of him, I don't think there is, but there may be. So if we're starting with three receivers, I would assume, but we're probably going to go two tight end set, quarterback, running back, and then two receivers. I guess that's what we would do. And then hopefully we utilize the tight ends. That's one thing about this offense is we have an insane tight end room right now. We have like 4 or 5 guys that are 4 and 5 star tight ends we have the best tight end room in the country, no doubt about that. So I'm probably going to go 2 receiver, 2 tight end set. So that's 7, 8, 9, and then quarterback, running back in the backfield. So that's going to set up a lot of options. I was talking to someone this week. They said no one really covers the tight end on any level. So that gives you a huge advantage. And it really opens up a lot of things. Now, they're probably going to line up a tight end in the slot too. They'll probably have like a wide guy on the left, for example, and then like tight end standing up, receiver standing up, and then a tight end down on the left side. And then they'll have like quarterback, running back lined up, quarterback, running back lined up in the backfield, however they are. So again, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work with Julian Fleming, but it sounds like he's our number 3 guy. He's going to work sparingly. But I think nonetheless, he's a weapon no matter when he's on the field. So whether he's a decoy or we're throwing to him or he's lined up wherever he's lined up, he's going to be a weapon. So that kind of breaks that down. It's the way it says it here on Our Lads is Caden Saunders is starting over Liam. Trey is starting over Tyler Johnson. And we got Julian Fleming starting over Amari Evans. And then we got Drew Shelton starting left tackle. Javen Williams right behind him, the 5-star guy. We got Vega Ione backed up by JB. And then we got Nick Dawkins starting at center over Cooper Cousins, but Cooper Cousins probably will play. I think he's going to end up probably playing some guard and some center. And you got Sal Wormley in front of Alex Birchmeyer, another like 4 or 5-star guy. And then you got Nolan Rucci, the transfer, I believe from Wisconsin, starting at right tackle. Anthony Donkas behind him. And then a tight end, again, this stacked tight end room. I mean, we got Tyler Warren, Khalil Dinkins, who I believe was a 4-star guy, Andrew Rappelier, who was, I believe, a 4-star guy, Luke Reynolds, 4 or 5-star guy, Jerry Cross, 4 or 5-star guy. So that's our tight end room right there. And then we got Adler starting a quarterback. We talked about it. Brett and I kind of talked about it this week where we may see some Bo. He's a weapon that they can utilize. And then Nick Singleton, Katron, Cam Wallace at the 3rd, Quentin Martin at the 4th. I mean, that's ridiculous how much talent we have on that offense. And then speaking of talent, we got the defense. We got Denai starting at the lefty end. Zariah Fisher backing him up. Smith Filbert backing him up. Zane Durant starting lefty tackle, backed up by Hakeem, our guy Hakeem. He's put on a lot of weight, really turned it around. He was playing there now for a little bit. And I know why. I don't think we've said it, but I know why. But he's really turned that around. So that's good to see for Hakeem. And then we got Devon there at the right defensive tackle. Keziah Izzard, Caleb Bartise, and then right DN, we got Abdul Carter, Amin, and then Mason Robinson, who's really moving up. So good for him. And then we got Tony Rojas, backed up by Tamir, who's also making a move into the starting lineup. Kobe King, Tyler Elsdon, and we got Dom DeLuca at the Sam, Keon Wiley at the Sam, backing him up. Kari Jackson, Anthony Specca, 2 guys we'll be looking at. And then Cam Miller, starting left cornerback, backed up by Jalen Kimber. Kevin Winston, starting strong safeties. Akee Wheatley, starting free. And then A.J. Harris. Elliot Washington is actually 3rd, but I believe he is a 5-star guy as well. And then we got Jalen Reed at the nickel. I really wish that King Mack was still here. I really liked him. He put on a lot of weight in a good way. He was going to be moved to safety, and then he transferred to Alabama. So wish him the best. I don't know what they're going to do with King Mack down in Alabama. I don't know if they want him to kind of replace Caleb Downs, who went to Ohio State. But, he's a good addition to that team. So good for him, but it sucks that he left us. Definitely going to miss him. But that's what the starting lineup is going to look like. So, you know what? I'll pull up West Virginia depth chart. Talking a lot of crap as always, West Virginia. So Big Noon Kickoff is there. We talked about that this week. Pat McAfee's there Friday. I've said this before, like I like just watching the games at home. I mean, that'd be fun to go to tailgate, but it's honestly just better to just watch it at home. Unless you're like a diehard game attendee, got season tickets, however that works, then definitely go. But all right, so just looking at the depth chart for West Virginia. So one thing matchup wise that I'm going to be watching is, first of all, Garrett Green played for them last year, played against us last year. So just bear with me. I'm going to be pulling some stuff up so that we can kind of see how they're going to kind of match up with us. But one of their starting receivers. So hold on. So, bear with me. I'm just going to pull up kind of some of the stuff that they have going on, but I'll just say this while I'm pulling this up. So 2 matchups I want to watch in particular, because I think no matter what, our offense matches up well against their defense. As questionable as our offense is right now, because we don't really know what's going to happen. The matchup that I'm looking for is their offense against our defense. That's my main matchup to watch. So Garrett Green and the running back Jaheim White. All right. How are they going to perform against Abdul? How are they going to perform against our secondary? How are they going to perform against our 4-2-5 defense? Is Denai going to get in there? Is Abdul going to get in there? Is he going to bat some pass down? How's Tony Rojas going to look in coverage and run and pass coverage? And then how's our secondary going to look? Pretty much, I think what they're going to do is they're just going to try to show stuff just to confuse them. And then I think West Virginia is really going to have trouble against us, truly matching up against our defense. I think their offense is going to have a hard time matching up. So we got Clement Hudson at receiver. We got Preston Fox. We got Jaden Bray. And I'm just gonna look up some of their names just because I'm kind of curious how exactly they fare in the star status. One thing that I do is I don't necessarily look into exact star status for opponents, but I usually do look into how does it match up against us? How do we fare against them? So they got a pretty decent offense. I mean, we saw it last year. They did score some points on us, but how exactly does that match up against us? So I think at the end of the day, no matter what, and we're going to get Brett's thoughts this week, might even get Jared's thoughts. I'm trying to have a couple other guys that we've had on here in the past to get their thoughts on the season, how they match up. One of the guys that I was going to have on, he's going to be at West Virginia for the game, so he can't come on this week. He's going to be there Thursday, so be there early. That's cool. But so we got the matchup between the running back and quarterback, Garrett Green, Jaheim White, against our defense. So how are they going to stop them? How are they going to perform against our defensive backs, the receivers? How is their offensive line going to hold up against our defensive line? And then on the offensive side, how are we going to hold up against their defense? I think no matter what, at the end of the day, with our offensive line, I think we're going to be able to run the ball, and that's going to set us up for the pass, whether they're utilizing the tight ends or the receivers. Kotelnicki's offense starts from the ball out. He knows how good his running backs are. I think he knows how talented his offensive line is. I think he knows what the potential is for Drew Aller. So I think they're going to start with the run. They're going to start fast. And then if they need to get to the pass game, they will. They don't necessarily have to. They don't really have to show anything. Now, like I said in the past, like these good teams, Ohio State, USC, Washington, Wisconsin, whoever these good teams are that we play, particularly Ohio State, what they're going to do is they're going to watch our tape and they're going to say, like, we're probably running the ball a lot. So they're going to try to stop the run game if they can. And they're going to try to put the game in Drew Aller's hands like Michigan did, like Ohio State did, and it did not go well. That's what Ole Miss did. Really didn't go that well. So I hope if the run game works, they just keep doing that. Got a different offensive coordinator. Mike Yurcich probably wouldn't do anything. Nothing personal to Mike Yurcich, but a lot of stuff he did last year made 0 sense whatsoever. He did not mesh well with Aller at all. And, I think the difference between Aller is he was younger. He's got a different skill set than Clifford because Clifford fit pretty well with him, even though we kind of had the same result. But if the run game is working, run the ball. It sets up play action, sets up a dump off to the tight end, whatever you want to call it, it sets it up well. So I think we're going to run the ball, and I think it's going to work. And then that's going to take us into the pass game if we need it. It doesn't mean we're necessarily going to need it or we're going to use it. However, I do think we will. So, at the end of the day, I think that's something that you're really going to want to watch. It is how does our offensive line hold up against their defensive line, their second line of defense against our run game, and then what's that do for our pass game? Because I'm going to get more into it this week, but my prediction is pretty much we're going to run the ball down their throat, left, right, middle, outside, inside, whatever, and we're going to score a lot of points doing that. And then we're going to show some stuff with the pass game. And then their offense, I just don't think they're going to do well against our defense. Knock on wood, hope it works. But we do have a new defensive coordinator as well for a different reason because he left. He wasn't fired, Andy Diaz. But I really think overall our defense is going to be just fine. I don't think they're going to do much against us. Now, maybe they'll need to score some points to cover the over. But I think overall it's not even close. Like I think on ESPN the matchup is like 77 to like 23 or something like that in terms of our favorability to win. The line has moved. The spread has moved. I'm not really exactly sure why. I think a lot of people are hammering the points on West Virginia. I think it's down to like 8 now. But when I placed a bet, it was like -9.5 and over 55. So I've seen that in the past where like a lot of these lines for Penn State move last minute, but the one that I picked originally hits. So I wouldn't pay much mind to that. If you can get a better spread on it at 8.5 rather than 9.5, then do it. Place your bet now, unless maybe it'll lower. I don't know. My guess is probably going to lower, so where it's going to be like 7, 6.5 in favor of Penn State. So if you want to wait, then wait, but I'd probably just get it in now. And, just to lock it in, because I think no matter what, whether it's 9.5, 10.5, Penn State covers that spread and they hit the over. Because I think overall the final score is going to be like 40-some to 17, 50-some maybe. I'm really optimistic about putting up points. All right. Now, even if the spread's a little closer, like 10, 20 points, I think it's going to be a lot of scoring on our end. So, again, we will see about that. We'll see how it kind of fares, how it plays out. But, we'll kind of take it from there. But you guys give your thoughts below. I don't see anybody commenting right now, and that's totally fine. But if you guys are watching this in the near future, give me your thoughts. And I think we'll see you Wednesday. If I'm correct, Wednesday, I will see you for pregame, either Wednesday or Thursday for the pregame. That's where Brett and I will give our thoughts. Maybe we'll have a couple other guys on. that can remain a surprise as to who we will have on there at the end. But yeah, again, it's exciting. The season is here officially, pretty much. I don't know how it's going to work. One thing I wondered this yesterday is Florida State's 10. There's only been like three games, and the other twos weren't ranked at all. So I don't think they moved the rankings this week. So Florida State's going to remain at 10, I think, for a whole other week before they move, because you really can't move if all the other teams haven't played, but maybe they will move it this week. Maybe tonight they come out with like a fresh batch of rankings, and then that's when they reveal like, oh, Florida State's like 21 and Georgia Tech is ranked now. I don't know, but we'll see how that plays out. It's going to be very interesting. But that's one thing I think that to keep in mind is like, how's that going to move? How is that going to look? The the rankings, are they going to move down? Like, how far will they move down? Will they be unranked? Well, Georgia Tech, I would imagine, will definitely be ranked. I mean, they beat the number 10 team, so I would imagine they'll be ranked, and they're probably a lot better than people think. I mean, they were saying on ESPN yesterday, Sam Macho and Trevor Maddich, I think it was, like, I don't think it's the fact that Florida State looked bad. It's the fact that Georgia Tech looked really good. So Georgia Tech probably looks better, I think, than most people thought. It doesn't mean Florida State's not a good team. I think they are. But they just, I think, ran into it. First of all, here's another couple things that I wanted to say about We Are Penn State, John Carter. Where did you comment, John? Oh, you're on YouTube. Okay. Thanks for commenting, John. So, yeah. Couple things to consider, and this is why I picked the under and the spread to be covered by Georgia Tech. They're in Ireland, okay? They're in another part of the freaking world. It was raining, which I didn't know going into it. I'm sure some of the bettors did, but that's always good for unders when it's raining. And then you've got the fact that it's a new quarterback for Florida State. It's a new team. Georgia Tech they were probably underestimated. So I think Georgia Tech is really good. I think they're better than people think, and I think they're going to have a really good season. And I think Florida State is also good, but this is a bad start for them, and I don't know how they're going to recover. I think they're probably going to end up having a bad season. But again, it's DJU at quarterback. He's been a journeyman. He's inconsistent. He's not that good. If you watch that show QB1, they made him out to be the greatest thing ever. He was a big-time Clemson recruit, but he hasn't panned out at all. I don't think he'll even get drafted. He's not that good for like a highly touted 4-star guy. And I think he was class like 20 or something, 19 or 20, 21 maybe. I don't know. But again, that happens in college football. Sometimes you get some guys like that. And again, I don't know what people see in him. He wasn't that great at Oregon State. Wasn't that great at Clemson. I mean, Clemson was struggling to score points with him as their quarterback. And then you bring him into Florida State, and people just magically expect him with Mike Norvell to be different. I didn't think it would happen, and it didn't. I mean, it's a long season, but I think they're going to have a rough season. And I don't think any good is really going to come out of that outcome yesterday, besides the fact that I hit my bet in terms of Georgia Tech. I don't think they're going to the playoff or anything. I don't think they're even going to be in that decent of a bowl. I mean, maybe they will make the playoff. I don't know. It's possible. And then Florida State, I think they could have won yesterday, but I still think regardless, they're not going to have a good season. I think DJ's just not very good, and that's it. So give your thoughts below, everyone. Let me know what you think. And to finish off, with the Steelers, I mean, we'll see how they do in this regular season with their starters. I'm not going to make a judgment until we see all our starters. Okay. Got guys trying to make the squad. I don't think TJ's played yet. He's a huge asset on the Steelers. I mean, he's literally the Peyton Manning of the Steelers. Like, they could go 6-10 or 10-6 depending on if he's on the field or not. He's that good. He's that intimidating of a player. He's something that you have to plan for that much, that he makes that big of a difference. So I'll make a judgment on that come first game after they play in Atlanta. So I will see you guys this week. Put your comments below. Thank you for tuning in. And, you guys have a good week. I will see you then.
You are listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko Podcast.